Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mass. Mass Builder. Mechanical Assault Skeleton Suit. Yeah, I'm continuing on with the story. I actually built up my, suit so that it would be, a fair bit stronger, and I think I found a good combo, because I've been able to work out some nonsense. Where I'm able to do a lot of damage all at once. Kind of a speed killer build. Yeah, still working off of the pointy dragon mech. Because I won't be getting rid of that anytime soon. Though I did do a thing that I thought was kind of funny. Because, yeah, I made a second one and I just kind of left the colors as they were. And, yeah. Actually, let me see something real quick. I unlocked some armor that I think would be funny to mess with. Yeah, no, this is just kind of my BS build, so I have no issue messing around with this. Oops. Too goofy for this one. It's so minimal. Maybe floaty pipes? Yeah, no, that's okay. Oh, this is gonna look very strange. Oh no. I don't have the cool minimalist ones. Oh well. The ones that he's got on are pretty minimalist. And then I can go quite far with this actually. Uh, you know what, as I get more minimalist stuff, I might add it to this one, and that can be that can be funny in its own way. All right. So yeah, we got the goofy lad, and then we got spiky dragon mech. All right. Alright, let's get back to the missions. Alright, so the next one would be a campaign mission. The Sandstorm Glutton, pursue the escaping Cyclops member into the desert. interesting.
Destination confirmed. Launch process initiated. Arriving at destination. Disengaging. Autopilot. Mission
Autopilot.
start.
Oh, okay. I know that.
Large group of enemies incoming.
Okay, where? Come on, show them to me.
All enemies eliminated. Proceed to next object.
Okay. Yeah, moving right along. Honestly, I expected that one to be more difficult.
Enemies incoming.
Okay. Oh,
Large group of enemies incoming.
oh, finally, more voids. Bring it on.
Take excessive damage.
Oh, that's a new trick. Too bad. Come on. Oh, and we got ballista lizards. Fantastic.
No stars detected. Proceed to next objective.
You know, for ballistic creatures? The hell was that? You know, usually when they do something with ballista. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be fighting something interesting. Oh, come on. Keep showing off your dust clouds. Come out and fight.
Multiple energy signals detected.
Come on.
Receiving consecutive damage.
Interesting. Is that a smaller version of one of those Debris things?
Quantum fully charged.
Or is that a stronger version of one of these crawler things? Yeah, those guys don't take very much to take down. Problem is that they space themselves out so far.
No stars detected. Proceed to next objective.
Let's check it out. Alright, here we go. Oh. Ugh. They killed Wormy.
Alert. Large boys in the taking excessive damage.
Interesting.
Taking excessive damage.
Not taking any damage. I'm just taking consecutive hits. Oh, hey, neat. Now please collect
Mission
whatever
clear.
piece of something. Okay. So I'm just gonna collect my stuff. Not doing bad. Any of what's going on with that. Let's go. The confrontation. Learning of your enemies, you aim to face them head on and get past all of something. Unfortunately, the Cyclops units that you faced this time was just a small part of the whole organization, but still you've got your machine parts back to a convoy Elenir had prepared and escorted it back to the newly rented research center facility, or to the new research center safely. You then returned to base without any other hassle and finally out of the pilot seat, and it has now been a week after the incident, and you're drinking some tea in the briefing area to rest your head. You had your engineers modify a part of the pilot area next to the briefing room into a space they could imitate for accurate long-range controls. Kale and Quinn are both working hard on that unknown object. What did they say? Oh right, at long last we can start working on this piece of junk. Raina walked from the doorway across and stopped just a few steps from you with a cup of tea in her hands. You were reminded of how worried she sounded when the Cyclops member was instantly destroyed by the large quark before it turned on to you. Thinking back, that was quite an extreme fight, wasn't it? Once again, you remember that quarks are extremely dangerous, even with just one of them can be a formidable force. If they come in droves like before, it would take a lot of mass units to counter their attacks. You thought it's fortunate enough to survive the encounter, but personally you'd like to get better so that you can become an ace that can take care of any unexpected event. You gestured for her to take a seat beside you, in which she took up the offer. Finishing your cup of tea, you looked at her. Raina did notice your stare and put her cup down. What? What is it, Commander? Why are you staring at me? Relaxing your stare, you asked her if there is any missions available that could help you become a more formidable pilot. Yes, Commander. In fact, I just received a message from Miss Neon about a mission. She'd like you to try. However, let me have a look at them first. You understand why, right? No? Then let me drill it into your head, Commander. You always accept anything like you're having fun and I can't have you do that. It's too dangerous. Now please, stay put and relax. I'll come get you once I'm ready. Oh, okay. So, when I go into development, something's gonna happen. What are you? Oh, it's got like a big back panel. Oh, that's kind of cool. I need to conserve the money that I got. Alright. Let's go to the development area. While you were loitering in the development area, looking at how your little genius worked on her part of the decoding process of mysterious artifact, and delegated work to other programmers on your team, staying as quiet as you can not to disturb her work, the doors behind you open slowly. Here you are. Raina scanned the room, lowering her voice the instant she heard Quinn clacketing away. You always wondered why Quinn doesn't like to use the digitized keyboards, but never had the audacity to ask about it. One should not have to explain their preferences on things like these. I don't mind, you can talk about it here. Without turning around, Quinn seemed to notice how you both are willing to step out for your discussion. Thank you very much, Commander. Miss Neon mentioned that there are a lot of regular missions you can participate in for the benefit of the WDF. I think she mentioned a way to challenge yourself and give benefits to humanity. It'll be fun. Raina imitated Neon's smug face while she said those words. Anyways, I left all the details in the briefing room where we're searching for you so we can start to talk. Why exactly are you here disturbing Quinn? That's a misunderstanding. Who in their right mind would disturb Quinn's precious time? You move your hand in rejection of the notion and started explaining. You're always receiving help, so you might be better to have Quinn develop some sort of a training program like the ones you used in the WDF training facility while you were a student there. However, looking at the workload, you were thinking of another plan before Raina came in. A training simulator? Why would you want to access it? I can file a usage request if you'd like. You explained to her about the training programs you had while you were a pilot in training. Your instructor mentioned that various PMCs around the world use it to train newcomers for team building. You even visited one of the Valkyries during your training. Each PMC can use a course set by the WDF instructors or create their own. If it's possible, Quinn might be able to help you create one that's suitable for your training session. I'll look into it then. Let's hope it doesn't cost anything, or at least not much to use. Then maybe it's best to leave you here for a moment. Meet me in a few hours in the briefing room. Alright. Did I get the materials that I need for the next set? No. Alright, then I will hold on to them. Alright. Oh, Commander, the thing you've tasked me with, it's done. Raina looked up from her desk behind all the stacks of paper on her desk. In this day and age, someone who still prefers to use paper still exists and is sitting right in front of you. She once told you they're mostly drafts, brainstormings, and nonsense, and that all important documents are already archived digitally. But before that, let me tell you about the offer Miss Neon gave us. Switching your focus back to her words, you listen to the mission briefing and the large screen on the room. First, here's the place located around a designated red area, one of the origins of the Quark incident, named the Red Line Battlefront. The Red Line Battlefront is an area where the WDF set their forward outposts, not just one to at least defer Quarks from heading further into area with shelters. Raina pointed at various pigs around the point. You will be participating in this battlefront with other PMCs, most likely WDF units, of course. Your mission is to defeat as much quirks as possible, which sounded ridiculously easy at first. With how the quirks are, though, we do not have time to cleanse the area of void particles. This meant that the longer the fight goes, the stronger the quirks would be. It has also been reported that a few of those large flying quirks have been circling the area, and that's a secondary objective. Hold on as long as possible so it does not fly away and cause problems to other areas. That will be all for the first mission. On to the next one. Second mission Miss Neon proposed is quite similar, but down south. The map moves straight down towards the area you visited weeks ago. Or was it months ago? You can't seem to differentiate time that much now that you've been fighting day in, day out, with days of standing by inside your mass unit itself. Do you remember the Oxley power plant? The WDF had another reactor down south that can be overloaded on purpose to release an extremely devastating wave in the area. Each usage costs a lot, though, and they wanted as many quirks as possible to be gathered before activating the overload process. This is where we, as well as other PMCs, will come in. Why didn't they use it last time? I had the same question as you, so I asked it already. We needed time to repair the walls and barriers after each use. Last time was during the repairs, so we weren't able to use it. So that's it. We'll be one of the decoys defending the place until we cannot anymore, retreat, and let the overload process take care of the rest. That will be the second mission group. Miss Neon mentioned a third mission, but it's a scheduled mission which had just been completed. She said she'll contact us if the positions are open and we can apply for the next one, and we can leave it for now. Okay. Now for the request you asked of me, I have sent the program you designed to Quinn. You designed with Quinn to have Miss Neon review, so we can get an easy approval with the WDF. She looked it over and laughed while replying, ahem. Raina cleared her throat, changing her tone. This is sick. I'll send you a template to use our simulator machines. Adjust the numbers as following, and you're going to have fun. The guys here are too laid back in their training, and you might be able to help me out. She had Miss Ein send us a detailed list of requirements, a usage contract, paperwork basically. We just have to sign it and send it back after receiving approval with the program, of course. It's already done, and the program was approved as soon as I send it over. I'm wondering if Miss Neon even had a look at it. Whatever, I can't follow you two at all, Commander. Your thought process is... never mind. We can use our pilot seat to connect right into their system, so whenever you want to train, tell me and I'll be your virtual operator guiding you through the program. Briefing over, Commander. Let's hope there's no big incident coming our way and we can get lots of training in. With that, your days of loitering around has ended. These missions should prove worthwhile to improve your skills and earn some changes for your PMC, as small as it is. You set your mind to your target and move forward. Prepare for any mission from the list given to you. Okay, so challenge Gate of Ascension. Oh, okay. I might as well do them in order then. Okay. Red Line Battlefront. Hold the battlegrounds against the onslaught of quirks attacking from beyond the red area. Okay.
Destination confirmed. Launch process initiated. Mission start.
Try to work together to hold on to quirks as long as you can.
Like, so we got a box.
Okay, so supposedly they'll just get progressively stronger as we go.
I'll put the picture. And if it's 1100 already, we take the sample, run it while it's running. I think the transfer will be plugged now. The query transfer. Take care of that. I'll just put it off and we go up and forth.
In the world. Huh. What in the world am I collecting? Yeah, I don't get it. Am I just collecting void particles? Oh, well, the big bastards. Okay. What is it good for? Interesting. Oh, so I just get items based off of how many waves I clear. So my explosion effects aren't actually very effective. Ah. Here we go.
Quantum break ready.
That works.
Oh, there goes another one. Yep, nope, still not very tough. That way's clear. I wonder how long this go on for. That could actually stand for them to go a little bit faster. Man, I haven't even seen anything worth quantum breaking for. There we go. Alright. Yeah, Chad just keeps going. Where are they? Yeah, they're a little bit stronger, but still not even anything to worry about with my current setup. There. You know, this is going really well. Yeah, no, these guys are kind of boring. Hopefully the big guy comes down soon. You know, these guys aren't even really hurting me. So, anybody watch any good anime? I recently got into that Exiled Heavy Knight one. That was pretty good. Yeah, no. How do I... Oh. Alright, I can go a lot for this. There we go. Clearing the field quickly. I need to come up with better streaming times so I can sleep at night, but I know that this is the only way that that Bun and maybe can hang out sometimes. Heavy stress. Interesting.
Quantum particles. Full capacity.
Okay. This stop eventually. Commander, the enemy forces are growing exponentially. No, they're pretty much where I want to be. Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, I wonder how this ends, because oh. There we go. This one did. Oh, I did. Now the little ballistic turret's gonna go away. What in the world am I picking up? Alright.
Mission failed.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, a lot of bits and bobs from that. Holy shit. Oh, good lord. Kept coming. A lazy day and a lazing commander. This wasn't the scene one can find every day, and with diligent with how diligent the said commander has been, training, honing their skills, and flying to various corners of the world to participate in some kind of mission they were given. It was a warm morning, and with a little bit of light, the shelter's weather control systems have been working well, it seems. Your own base temperature controls are working at its finest already. Maybe you should take the day off. That thought came across your mind. Diligently working day and night for weeks, if not months straight, has been helpful, but it can be harmful if you don't have some good rest days as well. Commander, the technical team has reported they finally cracked open the object. Raina came running into the reception. Oh, excuse me. Raina came running into the reception area, almost hitting herself on the newly bought couch. It was placed strategically there to catch the eye and attention of anyone passing by the reception area. You remember her saying that some people were just too lazy to get back to their room after work and would fall asleep in bad posture in their working quarters. Thus, putting this couch that looks comfortable as a bed in the reception area should at least help them out. But that would only work with people who don't mind being seen sleeping. That's what you thought, but decided to keep it to yourself. It isn't wise to reprimand someone with good intentions, and since you're part of the problem and resting in it, it's wiser to keep your mouth shut. Commander, hello? Are you daydreaming again? You raised your hand to signal that you are not asleep, raised yourself into a sitting position, and asked Raina to give her report. I'll begin then. After weeks and months of tedious work, we have finally disassembled the outer layer of the object, revealing what is inside for the first time. Raina gestured her hands, literally picking up the object image and handing it to you. Even showed a spherical container locked into place. Inside the container was some sort of mechanical lock. No, after careful observation, you notice that it's a mechanism to release what was inside. Our engineers have been examining those mechanisms for a while, with how mysterious this object is, but after everything, it's just a simple vacuum locking mechanism. The part that's more complicated, though, is the center of the device itself. If you look through the images, you might have noticed remnants of purplish black dust within. And we all know what those things are, crystallized void particles. We usually don't see it right, but that's a very big chunk that was large enough for our robotic eyes to notice. They've been writing lots of hypotheses while we're out doing missions. Would you like to hear all of them, or just conclusion our engineers came up with, Commander? Second of pondering, you reply, shaking your head. Then look no further than the text here, Commander. Raina took another projected image and sent them your way. This time full of texts that would take you more than a few hours to decipher. It is extremely lengthy and full of scientific vocabulary. And why did some old world mathematician decide to add letters to equations? Your perplexed look must have shown too much. Raina was giggling like a child that successfully pranked their parents. She stopped only when you pointed your finger towards the textbook-like thing in your hands. I'll give you a short explanation. The object, or Cyclopean Eye as our engineers called it, in accordance with its origins, is a device that holds condensed void crystal within a vacuumized container. On its activation, the container would destroy the void crystal, releasing an extremely large amount of void particles into the air. As you may have recalled from your lessons back in the academy, this is a phenomenon that will most likely cause quark rifts to open up. In simpler terms, it's a device that can call quarks into the area on activation. This might be the reason quarks suddenly showing up when we were at the dam or the desert, or even that time in the snowy mountains. Well, that's a hypothesis, but it's the most likely explanation we can get at the moment. So we're taking that hypothesis as a base and planning to investigate further. This will require your assistance. Finish whatever you're doing. Come meet Elnir and me in the briefing room, Commander. Take your time. Oh, goodness. Holy hell. Alright, I just need 1 second. It's actually getting quite warm in here. I'm going to turn on the fan.
But
There we are. Sorry about that. I was feeling kind of rough there for a second. This thing?
hey Mike, that rat filter pretty plugged? Yeah. That,
Gonna use these to get a little bit ahead. Because yeah, the best ones that I've found are the soldier development tree and the self-healing development tree. Actually, this is a great opportunity to pick up some. There's definitely some armors to pick up. Oh, holy hell. that a fat one? Yeah, a little bit. Oh. Okay. Another one with the back shield. You know, since I'm probably going to be able to finish this up by next week, based on the way the development trees are looking, I might come in with a spare robot, just funsies. Oh, the cheese wheel. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, no, it might be fun to have like a spare unit that I also like the look of. Because I love my spiky dragon mech, but I do also like to putz around. I'd be lying if I denied that. Interesting. Actually. Oh, there. Yeah, that's right. That's the ultralight. What does that look like? Look at you! All adorable and tiny. That's like just the opposite. That's like a construction feature. Yeah, no. I might have to stop playing Metabots because I think that might be keeping me from enjoying my other time and sleeping. Which is very important. If you don't know me, know one thing. My sleep is very important to me. Both when I'm home and abroad. Oh, look at you. Little cutie. Very tiny thigh. What's going on here? Oh, that's kind of cool. Some that kind of feel more like an armored look. Oh, yeah, I got the middle-last one. Interesting. Little tiny. Alright, what's your deal? Holy hell. Oh, that was kind of cool. Oh, in the minimalist. Holy crap. That is a world of difference. Oh no. looks like a traditional robot piece. Oh, damn. That's all the stuff. Oh, that's kind of cool. That looks like a shoe. Like shoe heel. Or boot heel. Oh, is that like a little tiny heel? It is. So very weird. Alright, sitting at about an hour, not doing bad. Oh, that's a nice little, like, shoe shape. What are you? Oh, interesting. Oh, in the minimalist build. Aw. Oh, okay. No unique weapons. Okay. That's fine. Anything new to me? No. Alright. What's next? It's the same scene ever again. Reyna sitting at her desk with the documents piling over her head and Eleanor just sitting nearby with a lollipop in her mouth. You tried them once before when Eleanor put them in the pantry for everyone, but all of them were extremely sour that burns your taste buds. Eleanor always said that if you can bear the first few seconds, it turns to a mishmash of sweet and sour mellowing in your mouth. Both glanced at your arrival. Reyna shoved the documents she was looking over the moment you walked across the doorway, and pulled a single file out from somewhere not in your sight. Welcome. I see that you did not choose to linger elsewhere just to piss me off, my dear friend. Honestly, if I would have done so if I was in your shoes, but you're a better person than I am. Good. Now to the matter at hand. Let's talk business. First, did you know that void particles from each origin have a minuscule difference? You ponder for a moment whether there's a lesson about this in the academy to which your memories told you there weren't, and this is the first time you heard about it. Judging by your reaction, I'll assume that's a no. I didn't know about it until I researched much later. Well, so I don't blame you for that. It's all scientific stuff that won't get through unless you take the time to study about them. But that's beside the point. The point is that Quindolia and Kale were able to trace the condensed void crystals back to somewhere near the northernmost red zone. The area that's been monitored by some PCMs or PMCs and WDF themselves in case of a breakout. However, entering those areas blindly are basically throwing away your math. It's filled with quirks, void particles, and whatever the red zone has. I don't know much of it. There's not enough information except that it's dangerous and always monitored. So we'll turn our heads towards this place, the Logar iceberg. A block of ice that is on the forefront of that red zone. WDF and its commissioned PMC have had set these things before, or had set these things called the void particle monitoring anchors up there, and I'll need you to get these things, get their data, and get out. Every few months, they relaunch newer anchors to replace the old ones. Some are damaged by the quirks, some detach from the ice piece that isn't in an optimal position. Anyhow, they need people to relocate the monitoring devices attached to each anchors to the new one. This is an opportunity for us, an opportunity that we cannot miss. But it's a dangerous place that would require authorization to get to as well. The WDF don't want people to run into their deaths, obviously, but the fact that we wanted is there, so we need to get into it. There's also the fact that the Cyclops are hiding a lot of dangerous chimeras. I don't know where that came from. There's also the fact that Cyclops are hiding around a more dangerous area somehow. Well, I'm getting tired already. Back to the data, it will help us further analyze and determine the specific coordinate of origin, which I think will either lead us to where or how they created these Cyclopean eyes. It should also help us circumvent the concentrated areas and find a pathway towards their target largely. You might ask, how in the blazes are we going to do that legally when it's a place that only authorized units can get into? Well, Reina has a solution for us. Fire away. The WDF always has ongoing missions, as mentioned by Miss Neon in her list. This is one of them that she had sent us last time. It's a mission for any PMC that's free, patrol the Logar iceberg, retrieve key information from the monitors, and get out. We'll take the mission, scheduled to begin in roughly a few weeks from now, and create a copy of those data manually. You see, these monitoring anchors are equipped with data emitters to communicate with each other as well as back to the WDF. We'll equip your mass unit with a receiver. You just need to be around them long enough, and you'll get the data we need, Commander. But honestly, this place looks suspicious, don't you think so? A place that only authorized personnel are allowed in the area. A place deemed to be one of the front lines of danger. I feel like we'll find something more than data in this mission. Just a hunch, you know? Like hiding trees inside a forest. That's an ancient saying if I ever heard one, but it's the correct saying to use, yes. My hunch is telling me that they're just right there. We just need a marker of sorts that leads us to the correct dangerous place. And that will be all for the briefing today, Commander. Let's hope we find something useful. Okay. Alright. I'll try those challenges as well before moving on.
Unit ready to proceed. Launch process initiated. Mission start.
Oh, somebody else is streaming now. Foxy Mommy View. Interesting. You know what, let's try this. Alright, back to Mega Man. Caution, danger zone. Alright, where? Okay. Alright. Yeah, no, it's just... Gotta keep going. There we go. There you are. Oh, okay. I wonder how many waves are in this one. There we go. Standard. More ports to protect everything area as long as. Sorry if it seems like I'm spacing out. I kinda am, but trying not to do too bad. There we go. There we go. That's number 9. There we go. There we go. Rolling around at the speed of smell. Places to go and stay. What the hell? Sir. Right here. Take extra caution on handling. Interesting. There we go. Yep, nope, still can't even get past my shield. Oh, hey, is that a bigger one? Nice. Okay, there's that. Sorry, my eyes keep wandering off. Gotta reel them back in. Oh, hey, maybe. How's it going? Yeah, I'm just kind of chilling, playing maths. There are these things called hunting expeditions that seem to be a little bit more difficult, so I'm trying that. Oh. Oh, you and Bun were playing Power Wash? Oh, speak of the devil. How's it going? How's it going, Bun? Let's see. Doing good, just laying down after playing a little bit. Worked today too before that left. Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, I spent a lot of the day cleaning, and I probably should have slept a bit. And now here we are. Oh, these guys are upgraded enemies. Yeah, wait, remember, so... Yeah, after this one I might focus more on the story, because these seem to take a while. They're good for gathering resources, though. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm picking up, but something. Alright. Oh, there he was.
Quantum particles in full capacity.
Yep. Man, this just keeps going. Oh, there's a train passing by. Alright. Okay. Into the ceiling fan. Yeah, the ending's probably coming soon. I don't know what. Where's everybody? There they are. I hope this match isn't fucking much longer, because that dude out there isn't doing crap to the wall.
Excessive damage.
Oh hey, I actually took some damage. Oh, they just keep coming. Okay. Oh, yeah, the walls actually starting to take damage, too. Hmm. Almost. Okay, man, you're doing better than most of the pilots of these things. Average, must be good. Okay, so...
Mission clear.
There we go. Oh, goodness gracious. That was certainly something. Okay, did I get anything that I need from that? Nothing. Let's see. Okay. We didn't really get anything about weapons. Oh, hey. Oh, we got something. Oh, cool. Club head. Cool mini lance. Cool mini lance. I'm going to drill through to the surface. And a scythe head. Oh. Oh, that was kind of cool. But yeah. My goodness. I was just here. Not right. Alright, these might be fun to mess around with other. Interesting. Doesn't look terrible, but it definitely looks kind of goofy. What strange shape. Big old bird beak. Okay. Oh, that looks kind of cool. I think the wings better for this one. Yeah, it looks like it's got its eye on you. That's kind of pretty. There's a whole bunch of stuff I missed. What the? What? Huh. Kind of more classic Gundam styles. Oh, that one looks like that one actually looks really interesting. I'm gonna keep that one. Okay. I'm definitely gonna have to experiment with looks of certain things later. This could be interesting. Oh, that's interesting. That one actually looks like armor. That one's not bad. A little basic. Interesting. It's always unsettling when somebody from a different business is hitting up our driveway ever so expertly. Okay. Trying real hard not to flop. I am definitely out of it. I need to at least make it to a point where I can get more items that allow me to do development. That was the baseline. Oh, look at that tiny little foot. It's like a dress boot. All right. Back to the campaign. Off to the ice floe. Oh, that looks weird like that. I don't know how I feel about that.
Arriving at destination. Disengaging. Autopilot.
Agent autopilot. Oh,
Unit recovered. Systems ready.
oh, interesting.
Multiple enemies inbound.
Okay, you can die from dumb stuff here. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Which way am I going? There we are.
New objective received. New objective received.
Interesting. Yeah, I have to be careful to not fall into that. Good lord, it's a void portal.
Large group of enemies incoming.
Like a storm of void particles. Yep, and...
Mission objective updated.
Alright. Oh, there you go.
Mission objective updated.
Interesting. Spell data emitter. Ooh. That could have gone poorly.
Multiple enemies inbound.
Oh, what are you? What are you? think there's going to be a
All
boss, and I
enemies
think it's going to be
eliminated.
soon.
Proceed to next objective.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Ooh, that could have gone badly. Alright.
Mission objective updated.
Looks like the damage from in the world. Oh, there you are. Okay.
New objective received.
That comes back up here. Coming there, bud? My information logs show that there's always a large group of forces nearby. I won't mind no appearance. There we go.
Multiple enemies inbound.
These are certainly different materials.
No hostiles detected. Proceed to next objective.
I'm not taking my sneakers out. I am sneakers out too.
Objective updated.
There it is.
New objective received.
Ugh. That's certainly weird. Oh. Oh, something's upset. Oh, hello, big red bitch. To be fair, unleashing Quantum for that probably wasn't super fair, but Jack it. Don't swing if you don't want to get hit. It was a cool hammer though. Right at about the 2-hour mark. Doing pretty good. Feeling the vibe. What the hell was it? The same ceiling light, the same couch, the familiar scent of tea, you're back in base with no sense of urgency once again. Missions have been on the slow side, and no large-scale incidents have happened at all. In fact, you can't remember how long it's been since the last one anymore. Commander, you've been neglecting your daily training for a few days now. Did anything happen? You turn to look at your assistant operator, handler, and everything else anybody in the base called her. Anybody in the base has called her. Holding 2 cups of freshly brewed tea in her hands, she puts down one on the on the side table, which used to be just a box that the others were too lazy to build into the table. While it's good that everything is calm right now, it's better to always be prepared for the worst, you know? And don't give me that reason that your muscles sore for days after exercise. We have supplements and accelerated recovery process since ages ago, Commander. Oh, don't worry, Reyna. Commander will be stretching their arms and legs now. Door on the opposite side of the room opened, revealing Elenir and Quindolia. They both walked in, prompting Reyna to ask if they wanted tea as well, to which Quindolia nodded and took a seat at the resting area. Elenir, on the other hand, walked up and threw her information tablet at you. You picked it up, saw some digital readings and paragraphs your brain refused to comprehend, with all its scientific terms, numerals, and old ancient letters to signify more calculations and variables. Well, we compared the data that you got for us, analyzed them, and then hit a wall. Figuratively, of course. Quinn tried her best. A small thud could be heard from the mini-table where Quindolia had just seated. We weren't able to fully understand the data given to us. There are too many places around the red zone that might be where our enemies are hiding. But we cannot pinpoint it due to fluctuations and movements. Which honestly is a very damned strange situation, knowing how delicate and short-lived void particles are. But maybe that's because of how the red zones filled with void particles work. It is too much for us with only the knowledge we are provided with. Quindolia nor Heel worked hands-on with the void particles or observed them hands-on. So what's our next step, Nier? Do we wait for another opportunity or find someone who can help us? But that would be difficult, right? The person must either be a renowned void particle researcher or someone who's a direct apprentice of those people. Well, I actually knew someone who could do that for us. It's really difficult to get in touch with them, and they're as much a free spirit, aggressive, and unwilling to negotiate, even to my standards, though. The only reason they took a liking to me and helped me before was because of the methods I used to greet them. But we don't have a choice. We need to go ahead of everyone else, specifically the Cyclops. You face them up there. They know we're on their trail for sure. There aren't some smooth brain, all brawn guys, even if they dress that ridiculously. That sounded like we need to act immediately, but are there any new ways to solve this that won't take much time? Like, can't we file it officially as a mission instead of trying to do everything ourselves, including the illegally trespassing into a monitored area? Because we cannot wait for WDF to do it. Remember when I told you my family never had a fruitful result of our requests to investigate with the matters of our convoy? I suspect there are a few insiders planted inside the WDF from the Cyclops. I had years to think about it, and all the available technology we have, surveillance and manpower to take them down. Why aren't we able to catch them already? You've read all mission descriptions and paperwork, right? But let me ask you, dear Reyna, why haven't incidents like ours during the dam mission get mentioned in what you read? If there is a possibility of facing these terrorists, we'd be sure to read about them somewhere already, right? But no, it's never mentioned. I have used all that I can, connections, money, everything, and read through a lot of the mission reports in their archives. Nothing at all is mentioned about the Cyclops. That is quite strange, isn't it? Well, there have been minor incidents between mass pilots and PMCs here and there, but nothing specific. That's certainly strange indeed. Right. So, once again, we take matters into our own hands. The data we have will surely be able to take us to our final goal. For now, I'll get in touch with my old friend. You guys kill some time. The talks will end in a few minutes if they answer my call. With that closing, Elenir turned around, pulled out a small communication device, and walked away towards the briefing. Before long, you heard the locks click together. Looks like an important private call. You start wondering who this old friend of hers is. Okay. So that could be anything for development. It would appear not. Theoretically, I can expand some of the baselines. Tinkerer's Blade. Conductive metal coating applied to a close combat weapon allowing chemical reactions to spark controlled destructive explosions. Physical damage plus 35%. On hitting any enemy with close combat weapons, 25% chance to cause extra 85% physical and either heat, freeze, or shock damage. Can only trigger once every 0.8 seconds. Display enemies' damage property weakness. Interesting. That could actually be quite good. Another fun random attack. Okay, so nothing new there. What about armor? What about... Ugh. Interesting. Okay. Yep. Well, that's kind of tiny, but not in a terrible way. You know what? I think... Yeah, I think I might change this back. I don't mind the way they look with that, but... Ugh. Oh, the chicken leg. Okay. Alright. It took only around 10 minutes, just as Eleanor said, before she opened the doors to the briefing room. You looked calm, but the sweat on her face told you otherwise. But you refrained from telling her how much it shows, even when she's smiling. You and Reyna accept her invitation into the room. You took a seat where you always do while Reyna settles into her desk. So, good news, my old friend will help us out. The bad things is, I was forced to tell them how we got everything done, and they wanted possession of the Cyclopean Eye just to perform more thorough research on it. But they're not someone to leak secrets, so no worries. But that's like the only lead we've got towards the Cyclops here. True, but if we get to know where those bastards are, the leads will have already performed its job. Can we really trust this friend of yours to unravel the mystery and the data that we have? Are we really sure that we got this? Well, I cannot say who they are. I can say they are one of humanity's best friends and will do anything for humanity's survival, albeit being a rule breaker. I'll trust your decision then, Miss Thunder from the Dragon's Beard Industries. Boy, don't use that tone with me. I'll tell you, this is a really sound decision that is most beneficial for us. Well, what would you have us do then? Right to the gist of the mission, and I'll call it a mission. My friend here, as I've mentioned, requested a transfer of possession of the Cyclopean Eyes. They'll be receiving it at a certain research platform in the Pacific Ocean. Stop right there. A research platform out in the ocean. Isn't that kind of place also highly guarded place with constant surveillance? How are we delivering our items to this friend of yours without everyone knowing? Let's just say this old friend of mine had special authorities that not even the higher-ups of the WDF wants to meddle with. Check your ledger. The mission should already be posted straight to us. Looking down at her desk, Raina noticed a new mission request that had popped up. She tapped on it lightly, bringing the information up on her desk, and also duplicating it into the big screen for your viewing. That's why I said they're an old friend. I thought you meant that it's a friend that you knew from a long time ago, not someone as old and important like this person. How in the world did you get to know him in the first place, even? You look at the large screen on the one side of the room. It reads, Dr. Kazu Murakami, the creator of the Void Canceller and one of the saviors of mankind, apparently through Elenir, one of the most important persons in the world, currently had just given you a mission. That phrase would not work. Ahem. It's an embarrassing story, though I rather not tell you about it. Near, this is not just putting a leg or an arm. This is throwing your whole body across the line already. Personal requests by one of the most important people alive, and we're handing him something dangerous. What if we mishandle the Cyclopean Eye, or it suddenly invades? We're handling him something dangerous. What if we mishandle the Cyclopean Eye, or it's suddenly activated? Hey, we took all precautions and made sure that things won't activate already. Also, when I told him about the Cyclopean Eye, he was the one who said he wouldn't do anything for me unless we asked him to. It seems the catfight would continue if left alone, so you resolved to the best method possible, accepting the mission and putting all information on the large screen, flashing it from a gray document into vivid color that might have briefly blinded the girls. It was effective, and both glared at you after a flinch. You monster! What if these beautiful eyes go blind? You're truly an insensitive one, a true enemy of one's deserving praise like me. But, well, you did actually stop Raina from choking me, so thanks. Now Raina, can we talk like civilized humans? Which we do have. While we do have time, I want to drill every information we have into both of your heads so we can perform the mission with zero chance of failure. Elenir did not wait for an answer and point straight at the screen. As you know, Dr. Kazu is the creator of the Void Canceller and one of the busiest persons in the world. He won't spare any second to something he's not interested in, and his location is always kept secret. Which means he's interested in our findings and had sent us a location we can meet up with him, which is at the Pacific Research Platforms where he's doing some kind of research. I'm not keen on prying into what I don't need to know. The research platforms used to be in an offshore base of some sorts, but it's been refitted to be a research platform for special occasions. It's a total dangerous place to be so unused most of the time. Not for this reckless man, Dr. Kazu, though. He said he had something to do there. So we swoop in, put the Cyclopean Eye on the designated place, and quickly get out before we get caught in some dangerous shenanigans. So we swoop in, put the Cyclopean Eye on the designated place, and quickly get out before we get caught in some dangerous shenanigans of Dr. Kazu. What do you kids say 15 minutes, get in, get out. Okay. By the way, Commander, I found an interesting mission listed on the WDF board. It's a regular checkup at Arizon Crater, far west of the world. Oh, that one I told you about that we could procure lots of funds from. Yes, WDF mentioned sudden spikes, both ups and downs of void particles, but never found out what was causing the spikes, as they weren't able to capture anything on their monitors. The Arizon Crater isn't a place of importance. Now, we'd be the first to take up this mission after these spike observations, so they'd be paying for this mission much more than the regular visit. If we have time, we should check it out. Oh, goodness. Alright, let's try to run this one real quick. See what sorts of material we get.
Arriving at destination. Shifting to pallet controls.
Okay. Maybe you're fairly right.
Large group of enemies incoming.
There we are. Alright, Loopy. Down you go. There we go. Strange person. A lot of these freaking bugs.
Quantum brain fully charged.
something big. Still love these little bastards. There we go. Fingers crossed that I got something particularly useful. Nothing. 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 What we got? Start mission. Where am I going? Oh, there's something. Oh no! Oh, okay. Kind of protects them from going over, but... Oh, what are you? That's something different. Where is it? Oh, frick.
Unit recovered. All systems online. Mission objective updated.
Ooh, just so.
Quantum particles. Full capacity.
That one.
Oh, okay. Okay. I do that, I have just enough fuel to make it cross. Ah,
Unit recovered. All systems online.
alright, let's try this one. Okay, what the?
Unit recovered. Systems ready.
What? Can I get up there? Oh, that's dumb. What's over here? What?
Unit recovered. Systems ready.
What even? What in God's name am I supposed to do? Alright, there we go. That works out. Close enough.
Unit recovered. Systems ready.
Oh, okay. Alright, let's try this again with this nonsense. Oh, I don't like you. How? I focus on fighting, not fight. This isn't fair.
Systems recovered.
Cheating
Proceed
midair?
mission.
Nope.
Unit recovered. All systems online.
What the garbage? And I can't get up to higher platforms. Nope.
Systems recovered. Proceed with mission.
Wait, what's my... On.
Unit recovered. Systems ready.
Nope.
Systems recovered. Proceed with mission.
In the world. Nope.
Unit recovered. Systems ready.
What the heck? Nope.
Unit recovered.
I
Systems
just
ready.
want to get over there. Just want to get over there so I can... Do I have to go range?
Cells depleted.
Ah, nope.
Systems recovered. Proceed with mission. Weapon required for loading.
Yep.
Out of ammo.
If I... Actually, what if I... Yes. Finally. Oh, that felt unnecessary.
Unit recovered. Systems
You know what,
ready.
in that case, I don't care. Oh, what are you? I'm gonna call you Handy.
Commander level void creature detected.
Come on, Handy, give us a high five. Ooh. That was an interesting attack. Hell yeah for random explosion.
Quantum field fully charged.
You know, if my shields weren't so amazing, that could be really freaking nasty. Oh, hell yeah, fuck him up. Commander, you may now retreat from the area. All call sign. One paladin, Kazu. Oh, that's a cute little sword. Now, did I get any of the shit that I need? I hope so. With Dr. Kazu's own escort showing up to handle everything else that could happen at the research platforms, you were relieved of your duty and used a launcher nearby to get back to base. That was the first time a quirk did not go down as you expect. And that occurrence turned into a weird feeling. Are you frustrated you were having a hard time against a quirk like that? Should you spend more to get better materials to upgrade your mass unit? A lot of thoughts went through your head with no answers, but walking from the pilot area into the briefing room, you realized it's trivial matters compared to what's on screen. I would say I'm impressed, Brat. You truly did stick to your guns with everything you said last time we met. The hell? Dr. Wily from Mega Man? And you did something unnecessary to test it, didn't you? Esteemed savior of the world, Dr. Kazu Murakami. That help we got in the end were all calculated as a dramatic entrance, wasn't it? Well, of course. What were you expecting? A nice warm cup of tea to welcome you? I told you last time I will not send stupid brats to their deaths. I need to see if your so-called commander can do what you wanted him to do. A scientist like me needs to prove your stupid expectations, you know. We've traced a good amount of void particles near this place for a while now. That's why the WDF put those aces with me. It's all my experiments to blame. Not going to lie about that, but since you're coming, I'd like to see with my own eyes if your resolve is worth my backing. And you've proven adequate. Judging from what we've been discussing throughout the years, this commander of yours won't last again the full might of what you've called Cyclops. I'd say it's much faster to deliver them your mass units instead of going to fight and get wrecked. You haven't changed at all, geezer. Insults and sarcasm within every sentence you speak in the name of that science of yours. I only insult ones that require an old man's teachings. Like you, naive brat Elenier. But I must compliment you this time. You've made great progress towards your goals. If I were right beside you, I'll give you head pats like the last time. Shut up. No one needed to know that embarrassing thing years ago. Get back to the topic now. Oh, what is it? Can you tell me more, Dr. Kazu? As a friend of Elenier over here, I implore you to tell me more. Your friend here seems to have a desire to sharpen her knives against you, eh? But it's funny, so I shall tell you the story of the little girl who came crying and kicking me years ago. Stop. But that will not do. And if you cut the transmission, I shall accept it as you don't need my help anymore. Oh, and you shall not run away as well. This is going to be entertaining. Sit right there and listen with both your ears, girl. A few years ago, 5, 10, 20, I was attending a boring seminar to give some lecture on the Void Canceller and my other hypotheses and the researches I'm performing. It's a stupid event to give hope and motivation, but we all know those kinds of things never bore fruit to make something really happen. Stupid motivational speeches and seminars. I despise them and was having a real bad time. So I snuck myself out of the seminar. I got to a park, unimportant as it is to think of the old days before everything went downhill, and was greeted suddenly with that brat over here. She spouted nonsense and I was having none of it, but this girl here was relentless. She even tried to kick my shins to stop me from escaping the predicament. Stop. So we had a little bit of fun, with her chasing me down while speaking faster than a video clip played at 2 times of the speed of her situation, and me walking as fast as an old man could do, dodging her kicks and punches. I finally reached my hotel, where my guards quickly tried to apprehend this little girl. Please stop. And then she kicked their shins with no hesitation. With no hesitation at all. She ain't got any exoskeleton frames to help, but those boots went straight into them shins in a split second. I don't know who taught her, but it's a sight to behold. A muscular professional bodyguard kicked by a little girl, falling to their knees. It was a sight that made my heart jump, you know. At that moment, I knew that I must help this girl, because it's going to turn out entertaining for sure. At that point, Eleanor looks as defeated as she can be. This might even be the first time you've seen her with the expression. Her eyes might be more dead than a fish out of water for weeks. So I finally sat down and listened to everything she had to say in the hotel lobby. Let me tell you, it was all stuff that's unrealistic. It was so unrealistic I laughed a lot. And you know, every time I correct her, she grew quieter and quieter, to the point that I had the guards run off to buy her some candies. Ah, the good old days. Well, I gave her my contacts and had the guards send her home. We've been talking a few times a year, and she's improved to a point where she finally brought me something interesting here. You're still listening, Brat. I'll work on this thing after I'm finished with the current research on Quirk's feeding behavior. I haven't published them yet, but you can read them in your own leisure. I'm giving you access to the synopsis since I used you in the experiment. Try not to die before you reach your goals. Oh, and you, Commander. Train some more. Reach the levels of the ones I showed at the end there. He's the so-called Ascendant from the PMC called Odin. Those are the only 2 things you need to know for now. If you're truly willing to help the naive brat beside you, that is the level you need to be at, even have a chance, and the names you need to remember. I'll get back to you kids soon, and if you can't satisfy me, I'll let you know more about Odin along with your quest for revenge. Interesting. Being told to wait by Dr. Kazu was an expected event, but there's no telling when will the good researcher contact you. Practices and small odd jobs here and there become routine, and you kept going at it diligently. Finishing the last run of training program you made with Quinn and the Valkyries, you noticed Reyna talking with Eleanor in an enthusiastic tone, one that you don't hear much these days of late. Noticed that you finished with another round of training. Reyna called out to you from the development area. You recalled her saying she's going to comb through some of the logs of a mission up north where you fought against that large Cyclops unit. Reyna mentioned she was too perplexed by the situation with the MAD unit at that time, but she also felt there was a clue to be found during that exchange. Thinking about it, the unit sure was large, but inefficient in all aspects. Maybe there were good reasons the engineers made mass units the size they are. Nonetheless, the situation at hand should be a more important matter, so you put those thoughts away. Commander, Nier and I have been raking our minds through the comms record, and we finally found it. The thing that's been nagging at the back of my mind for weeks. Listen to this, Commander. Gesturing a pinch, Reyna dragged a recording file from her tablet onto her desk, connecting it to the sound systems in vicinity. Our client wouldn't be happy if we were to leave you be, and you won't stop meddling in our affairs. They've got clients, collaborators, to their blatant thievery. That's where their fundings are, I guess. Oh, right. We've got a target on our back now. Congratulations, Commander. Your prowess had proven successful, even if it's indirectly. Stop the jest. Now I've been discussing with Elenir on possible suspects. You remember the story I told you about us wealthy families of the world before quirks, and how many of these families lost most of it? Others donating to the cause to fund researches to defend ourselves? Looking on the other side of the coin, I'm sure there are families that wish to return to that time before quirks. To the time they were in paradise and only helped minimally. Forcing people to relinquish their wealth for the greater good doesn't sound like something people would agree on. The world used to have democratic councils all around, with each area to govern their own, and people are free to live in a place that suits them. At least that's what the history books taught us. I don't blame them. The world must go on, and everyone has their choice to participate in the war or rebuild society. And some of these are prime suspects to me. A little bit of self-indulgence and suffering of the whole society won't affect the world. I've come to know people who had these thoughts during the time I've traveled with my father all around the world after the quirk incident. This truly brought some unpleasant memories. Infatuated brats that boast their family wealth as their own, spoiled and ignorant. They don't know how people are struggling to survive in this messed up world. Everything is for their own wealth and ambition. Anir shook her head wildly at the end of it, as if to scatter those thoughts out of her mind. Sure, the world must live on, and wealth is a status one thrives to achieve. But I would never thought they'd fall far enough to be against the world in these desperate times. Well, not before everything Cyclops, and until now. I should have realized this much sooner. Who would have thought people would change for the better when the world goes south? A young, naive me, of course. But there's too many of these kinds of peoples. We get articles like 25 wealthiest person in each shelter every year in the news, right? It's too large of a sample. These guys know to cover their trails and still help donate to charities and quirk research and whatnot. So we were discussing, Commander. Can we try to ask for help from people we know, like Kunai and Miss Neon? Or Walls and Molewarp? They might have some clues, since they're the transporter for so many things. Some of them might be missions of those in collaboration with Cyclops. It might be true. I'll get the details and ask Waltz to talk about it discreetly. Anyone else you can think of? You shook your head. All your life it's been training to become a mass pilot, and now you're living the life of one. How would you get to meet someone new aside from the battlefield where Reyna is always present? Well, if you found a mission, why don't you put yourself out as bait? If you've got someone hating you, it's common sense to bait that hatred and retaliate, and relatiate? I think they messed up the L and the T there, isn't it? I don't think that's correct here. Really? Worked every time in my case, though. The more vulnerable I look, the faster I get my answers. Come on, isn't a stupid method better than nothing at all? Or you could just stick to more dangerous mission instead, like the ones near the red zones that are exclusive to the better PMCs. I think our contacts will approve of it in no time, seeing how hard we've been going over the past few months. You and I for sure would give us a thumbs up. And by doing so, we get to talk about some other things, like possible suspects and whatnot. But I bet Neon has some spicy stories to tell us. If she knew what we were looking for, she might even ask to join in the fun. Wouldn't you agree, Commander? Raina took a glance towards you. Why would she do that? You're unsure of it. She's waiting for an answer or a decision. Before you could do anything, Raina let out a sigh. Fine, I'll look up missions of the higher difficulties for you, but I'll choose carefully. We don't want to incur more expenses in the maintenance department. Do you copy that, Commander? Okay. Coming up on the 3-hour mark. Really? Nothing. Nothing. What in the world? I might have to do at least one more mission just so I can get materials that I need to start leveling up so I can prepare more for next time. Alright. But I don't want to have to do a mission off screen just so I can keep fiddling. Nobody wants that. Alright. It took only a few days for Raina to get her hands on a mission that fulfilled all the requirements, a mission from the WDF, where only trained personnel are allowed to take, located in a somewhat dangerous place, but not as dangerous as inside a red zone. You wonder how much she had to comb through to get this very specific mission for you, for your PMC. Nonetheless, the time she took to make sure things can move without any hiccups if you can perform what you're asked of is something to keep in the back of your mind. With that said, you notice Walt standing in the corner of the briefing area, fiddling with his tablet. You pay it no mind. If he's here, Raina must have called him in for a purpose. Ugh. Goodness. So, Commander, let's get to the briefings immediately. Large monitor across the room flickered, and the images of the geographical marvel caught your eye. This is Rodeola Pass, just part of an extremely vast and deep canyon system used by sightseeing tourists and researchers of the Old World. It is now a tranquil place with ravines and sediments, nothing more. That is what it should be, but The WDF had been detecting void particle buildups in the area for a while now. It is suggested that the buildup was due to how intricate the canyon system is, alongside the dense characteristics of void particles. Similar buildups found in valleys around the world reinforce this hypothesis, which made things worse every few weeks, you see. With no escape, the particles crystallized and formed void crystals like the ones we destroyed in the north. However, the void crystals found here kept condensing to a point where they started cannibalizing each other into spherical objects. Void orbs, as named by the WDF. Void orbs emit a dense barrier of void particles around itself, causing most weapons to lose its power when coming into contact with the barrier, which is the reason why the WDF required anyone wanting to take on this mission to have enough force to break through the void orb and destroy it. You eyed Reyna suspiciously because, listening to the briefing, this void barrier thing shouldn't be phased by your normal weapons, and you don't recall having specialized weapons for this kind of mission. It seems Reyna noticed your concern as she glanced at Waltz. We do have the means to break through, Commander, but I'll leave it to Waltz to tell you how, or to tell you about it. Then, shall we go? Alright, it's my turn. Introducing the Mad Companion that we brought back. Bought it off of the WDF and repaired. She's packed with tools of the trade, many more upgrades. Paid a good sum for it out of pocket, but she's worth it, Commander. First of all, we've been studying the text required for higher ranked missions of the WDF. With our pilot count of 1, Reyna wanted us to specialize in getting the most of an assistant unit with things a single mass cannot perform. I remembered the mission up north where you had a hard time breaking through void crystals with your weapon. Essentially that one where you were forced to use them drills located at the site. It was some stroke of luck you were able to turn them on, ain't you, Commander? So we took her apart for preparations and worked on a specialized module for you. Starting from an upgrade high-powered precision laser drill to break through any barriers. And don't worry about void barriers. The WDF had that knowledge up for grabs, and we worked according to that reference. Oh, goodness. She should also provide another eye for Reyna here to help look around for mission objectives if the need arises. And finally, we reinforced her with the materials we have. Don't worry to just go out there and get slapped to the ground by any quirks, mind you. I've already attached her to your unit, and she'll be ready to work alongside you once landed at the destination. That's all for me. Now, back to the briefing part. The void orbs won't sit still and get destroyed easily, as dispersion of the barrier is akin to showing void particles all over. There will be quirks spawning in to deter your objects there, and the MAD unit won't be able to pierce through easily if enemies are nearby. Your mission is to destroy any quirks in sight, pierce the barrier, destroy more quirks so your MAD unit can work her wonders, and eventually break apart the void orb itself. Simple. Whenever you're ready, proceed to the pilot's area and we'll launch you over there. Oh, goodness. This sounds like a unique pain in the ass.
Destination confirmed. Launch process initiated.
Oh. Either way, this might have to be the last one for the night. I am out of it. Hopefully I get what I need to do those upgrades. Remember, Commander, the mission is basically a search and destroy. One of the void orbs down. Proceed to search and destroy the next one. Two down. At least two more hotspots. Oh, that was weird.
That's one.
There we go. It's the third. We're almost done with this mission. Only seeing one more. I'll be over here. Oh, I don't like that being up there.
That one.
Yeah, no, that makes this a pain in the ass. Okay, that barely did anything. I have put next to nothing into my gunnery. Honestly, it would probably be easier if I just tried to jump up again.
Upgrade fully charged.
You know what? That works. Commander, void particles in the area are converging. Dangerous enemy approaches. Sweet boss battle. Hopefully I get something good. Ooh. There's a couple things going on here. Those gargoyles? They're doing a crap ton of damage. These little minions running around. Little magic snipers. Mission completed, Commander. The final scans now show acceptable amounts. There we are. I think I got everything. Alright. With the mission at Rodeola completed without any incidents, you return to the base feeling both disappointment and yet victorious. The main reason you took the mission was following Eleanor's suggestion to use yourself as bait, which obviously did not work, hence the disappointment. While the latter feeling of victorious was because you managed to complete that mission without much trouble. Dangerous quirks from around the red zone, not a problem. Although they're a tad bit tougher, much more ferocious, and had shown extra spicy attacks, that's unpredictable. No, still not a problem. But now Reyna and Eleanor are both having headaches. The leads they followed were all at a pause. On Walton's side, Mr. Andrew mentioned they'll look into old records for activities within our suspicions, but made your PMC promise to help them in one mission for free. On Eleanor's side, Dr. Kazu did not contact back even once within these few weeks. Eleanor said that's normal for him, but can't help feel depressed when everything is going so well up until now. Reyna also mentioned she's tried to request help from the Valkyries and gain access to their public records, made for any PMC to be able to gain insight and improve upon themselves. Still, most of the suspicious information she found turned out to be isolated incidents from different groups of people. You just finished your morning routine, checking up on each of your colleagues, and was deciding what to do for the day when you noticed a call on your private line. It was an unknown caller with no identification. How did this unknown person obtain your private communication line? That was not the question right now. The question is, who are they, and why are they communicating directly to you? Did someone mistakenly sign you up for some subscription service and didn't pay? With curiosity and nothing else to do yet, you took the call in the reception area. It's from Kunai. Oh, I see you're still a curious student that you took an unknown call. It was a voice of someone familiar, your mentor, Kenta Murakami, also known as Agent Kunai. You're about to ask why he called you on a personal comms without identification, but as the man always did tell you to listen first, you kept quiet. I've been monitoring your activities, nothing personal, just one of my responsibilities for every PMC under my watch. And I've noticed how yours came into contact with my grandfather. It became personal after that point since I know my grandfather well, and he wouldn't be directly talking to some startup PMC like yours without a purpose. So I took the liberty of my job to research what you've been up to lately. I asked my grandfather on why are you guys working together, and when he realized I'm your mentor, he spilled all your beans, you know. With that said, he specifically vouched for your strength and asked me to let you into a few secrets of us. It took me months to get approval for your PMC, but since you've been doing well with all your missions, they didn't require you to. Forget what I said. Just know that you're in and I'm allowed to talk to you about this matter. Let me first commend you on trying to do right by your friend, but you're walking down a dangerous road. We at the WDF have been trying to work towards the same goal for a while now, albeit we wanted to arrest and punish them, maybe obtain their resources and knowledge for the sake of this world. But yours are straight revenge. However, there's another layer of this matter that only a few of us at the WDF had been working towards, which, luckily, I'm one of them. Hence the personal call from an unidentified communication device. We suspected that there's a collaborator with these illegal organizations like the Cyclops, exploiting their positions with the WDF for personal gains. We have never found concrete evidence, and every time we did find a lead, scouting missions were always a few steps behind. Which is why, before the next words were spoken, an alarm sounded, drowning out all other sounds. Such impeccable timing. We'll talk later. The communications were cut short. It's unfortunate, but the situation at hand should be more concerning than the alarms haven't stopped. Oh, goodness. Gotta get something good. No? Nothing? What the heck? Bogus. Alright, let's see if I can do one more. God damn. Commander, you rush into the briefing area. Reyna already at her station. She looked over at you entering the room. There's a quirk wave detected near our shelter. They were estimated to arrive a few days from now, but a sudden spike in void particles have been thrown everything into disarray. Reports of quirks breaching the outer perimeters and requests for assistance have been sent out to every PMC, including us, by the local defense forces. They're currently organizing available personnel and assigning different areas for each of us. For now, prepare and launch as soon as possible, Commander. I'll brief you on the battlefield. Godspeed. Oh. Fuck.
Systems check completed. Launch process initiated.
Alright. Come on. Give me the parts. It doesn't have to be a lot, but Just let me know that I can get the parts that I need to upgrade. Oh, hey, culvert. Alright, Commander, this is an emergency mission, local defense. I've already got the brief from our local defense team. Oh, I'm doing property damage now. Marine. Interesting. Yep. We can play more quirks up there. This ground with the handmade defenses. Okay. What? Oh, fuck. That's different. Oh, fuck, that's different.
Large groups of enemies incoming.
Oh, wait. I think... Yep, this might be the one where I get the stuff I need to start upgrading. God, I hope so. Come and get it, big boys. Here we go. Yep. I have to assume after all this there's going to be some sort of boss. I think that's it for this feud. Alright, here's the big guy. Yeah, I think this is the mission where I got the stuff that I need in order to upgrade my my kit from here on out. Oh wow, that's a dragon.
Commander level void creature detected.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, the head really does do more damage. So I don't think I was getting criticals this time.
Quantum particles full capacity.
You know what? There we go. There we go. Oh, God. I hope those are the right bits. Alright. With your area taken care of, you continued onwards to the other areas that haven't eliminated their quirks yet and converged with other local PMCs squads. It took a few hours before the situation returned to normal, but no important event is worth mentioning. It's been a few weeks after the incident now. As per protocol, after Quirk's attack, every local PMC has been assigned to patrol duty, but without any more incidents, they've relieved you and other PMCs and have returned to normalcy as of yesterday. For the past few weeks, you've been talking in bits with Kunai regarding the WDF and their search for the Cyclops. There's an extra for the Cyclops collaborator within their ranks. He used his position as mentor and PMC's agent to pass you information privately in caution of it leaking into collaborators' knowledge. Within these lay abundant pieces of information and records of the WDF on things they found suspicious. Your crew were able to patch together some theories on the types of missions that distinguish Cyclops missions. Mr. Andrew, who promised Waltz to look through records of his company's logistics missions, also provided some records, albeit in an extremely vague way due to customer protection terms, and confirmed your crew's suspicions. You've been sent everything you have back to Agent Kunai now, and now both your PMC and your mentor can only wait until another one of those missions that hits the criteria comes along. On that note, you remembered Kunai wanted to talk to you about some kind of prototype testing mission you could help in. Thank God. Alright. You know what? Fair enough. Oh, okay. Entering the briefing room, Reina was on standby at her desk like always. You told her to contact Kunai, and within a few seconds the call was answered, greetings were exchanged, and Kunai immediately cut to the chase. I've been meaning to ask this from you for a while now. Recently there's been some research into unmanned mass units the Cyclops used. We've had our own unmanned units for a while now, but real combat data from them is extremely beneficial towards our research. If you'd like to, spare some time to help out the unmanned unit research facility located near Shelter 5 with your mass. It's a place where we test our unmanned units against any approved PMC's mass unit to improve their combat responsiveness and tactics. AI learning of the sorts. If you decide to join the research there, you'll be compensated with credits, of course, and don't worry about the damages. We've got recyclers and fabricators installed in the area, and we won't waste any precious metals. However, if the damage is on your mass, that's incompetence from you. Once again, thank you for your cooperation and good luck. Okay. Oh, so this is a hunt challenge. Okay. So that's the mission that allows me to grab plants. A few weeks later, Reina received a call from Kunai. It shouldn't be anything extraordinary, as all parties have been updating each other regularly. But this is the personal line you asked Reina to set up for the sole purpose, trying not to get tracked by anyone that might be related to Cyclops. All parties had agreed that using the private line due to the fact that the Cyclops had been able to escape from all leads, and were sure that moles and rats within the WDF must have a method to track any mention of the Cyclops, or anything that could lead anyone to them. Work has been slow lately, as Elinir and Kunai both ask you to always be on standby for cases like this, and you aren't someone who would betray the trust of others. Thus, when the private line rang through, You are ready to answer. Oh, come on. There's so much information. Walking into the briefing area, you notice both Reyna and Elenir were already present, and greetings were already exchanged with the person inside the large monitor within the area, Kunai. You nodded to acknowledge all parties and gestured for everyone to start the mission briefing. Good day to all of you. I'll keep it as short as possible. First, recap. We've combed through all information, logs, and everything that could provide us leads, and have finally found patterns that we believe could be what the Cyclops are looking for. I'll spare the details, but there are certain implements that has an involvement rate of over 80% in all cases. Whether it's straight up thievery like that time at the dam with your team, or some other distractions that has led to another incident in another place, these implements have always been a target. I've asked Grandfather to make a request to a number of trusted logistics companies to buy up those items. He's always someone who needed a wide variety of things for his experiments, so this isn't suspicious if he does things like these. With your relationship to Mulwarp CEO, we've asked for his cooperation with our mission as potential bait and ordered a large amount of supplies to be held within a distribution center of theirs. He has gone above and beyond to assist us here and only asked us for compensation if anything happens. We expect Cyclops to cause a distraction using their artifacts to lure quirks into dangerous areas nearby and raid the distribution center while our hands are tied. This is where you come in. Your approval to sit inside the DC until anything happens. We'll hide you in an area that's difficult to detect and cover you in some electromagnetic camouflage. When our enemies arrive, we'll have Mulwarp activate their defense system to have you deal with them. Does it sound that dangerous for us as well? I've heard defense systems for places like these are quite tight and ruthless. It is, but I trust you're able to navigate through them and apprehend Cyclops. Now to the capturing part. We both know the units are unmanned and capturing them is almost useless since the pilots can just disconnect from their units, or worse, detonate their unit to delete any traces. We'll prepare two methods to counter them. First, we'll put tracking devices in the cargo. You'll need to let them steal some of it. Don't worry about the cost, we'll cover it after this ordeal is a success. Second, we'll install a flash freeze device that stops any total destruction of the unit's black box. We'll activate it the moment you defeat the Cyclops unit. That could give us enough information to trace it back to their base. So you must defeat your enemy. Am I clear about that? I'll raise hell to assure you that our commander will do what he needed to, Kunai. Trust in your student. I always do. That is why we're at this point. Bring your best weapons. Do not worry about the damages to the DC. I've got permission and we'll cover all reparations. Oh my goodness. Okay. That was a lot. Alright. So, I am going to cut it there. I'm going to use this opportunity to upgrade my unit a bit. And I will get some rest for the rest of the night. Thank you all for joining me. I will see you Wednesday with more Telltale Wednesday. Well, thanks, maybe. But yeah. Alright, so yeah, we'll be doing more Telltale on Wednesday. I was thinking of doing Sam and Max this week because that looked fun. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna send us on a raid. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. And thank you for stopping by, really.